Hey everyone, today I want to talk about one of my favorite childhood computer games, Age of Empires 2. I recently got back into this game as it got a lot of new updates, civilizations, technologies, and unique units. And that is what I will be talking about today. The 5 best Age of Empires 2 HD unique units. At number 5, we have the British Longbowman. I spent a long time debating between this unit, the Chinese Chuko-Nu, and the Mayan plumed archer, but I ultimately decided on the longbow. Even though the longbow loses to the other 2 archers in a 1v1 head-to-head matchup, the Longbowman has the longest range of all the archer units in the game, and can even outrange castles and towers. While most other archers will have to choose between damaging enemy buildings up close but also take damage from their castles and towers, or to simply run away but also be outside of useful range, the Longbowman can do both and hence is a lot more practical for harassment and making pushes. Therefore, the longbow takes the number 5 spot. At number 4, we have the Teutonic Knight. The elite Teutonic Knight is by far the strongest infantry unit in the game, and is the second tankiest unit overall. A fully upgraded elite Teutonic Knight has 100 HP, 13 melee armor, 6 pierce armor, and 21 attack. They can take out most enemy villagers in 2 shots, and can often fight opposing infantry 2 to 3 on 1, and win easily. So then why is it only the number 4 spot, you ask? Well, despite being so strong on paper, the Teutonic Knight has extremely slow movement speed, making it vulnerable to archer hit and run tactics. But nevertheless, it still gets the number 4 spot. At number 3, we have the Slavic Boyar. Like the Teutonic Knight, this unit is extremely tanky with 150 HP, 9 melee armor, and 18 attack. They are capable of beating fully upgraded Frankish paladins in a 1v1. What makes it different from the Teutonic Knight is that it's on a horse, completely making up for the slow movement speed. It has a much easier time dealing with archers since it's so fast, and its high melee armor makes it difficult to counter even with pikemen and halberdiers. But if there is a weakness to this unit, it will be its high gold cost. Boyars are 80 gold apiece, and therefore making a large army of boyars will naturally require the player to make production cuts in other areas. Luckily though, the Slavs have great trash halberdiers and very cheap siege weapons. So hopefully that can act to counterbalance the high gold cost of the boyars. At number 2, we have the Spanish Conquistador. The Spanish are my favorite civilization in Age of Empires 2 for several reasons. They make buildings very quickly, their blacksmith techs don't cost gold, their villagers are strong enough to fight against most enemy military units, they have a great navy, great cavalry, highly efficient monks, are strong defensively, and have a very versatile tech tree. But what takes them over the top is their unique unit. The Spanish Conquistador is a mounted hand cannoneer. It has a high attack, good durability, and is an overall great unique unit. Since they are ranged cavalry, you can use hit and run tactics over slower infantry units, such as the aforementioned Teutonic Knights. Their high attack can also cut through most pierce armor without too much difficulty, but since they are cavalry, whoever uses them does need to watch out for opposing halberdiers, camels, and to some extent, skirmishers. Before we get to our number 1 unit, here's a few honorable mentions. Aside from the aforementioned Chuko-Nu and the plumed archer, there's also the Gothic Huscarl. Just as the Teutonic Knight has high melee armor, the Huscarl has very high pierce armor. try 10 pierce armor for a fully upgraded post-imperial elite Huscarl. This means a Huscarl can take up to 70 Longbowman shots before dying. What makes this unit even more insane is that the Goth have unique techs that let them produce this unit at the barracks and increase its production speed to unholy levels. Luckily, the Goths are not great defensively, as their army of Huscarls is their wall. If you can find a way to cut through their army, they will have no defenses left to fall back on. There's also the Mongolian Mangudai. Like the Conquistador, it is a mounted ranged unit. The Mangudai beats normal cavalry archers in just about every department. It has a faster attack, is more accurate and maneuverable, and will be deadly when masked for raiding. Now, finally, for our number 1. At our number 1, we have the Persian War Elephant. Is this really a surprise for anyone? A fully upgraded elite War Elephant has 620 HP and 24 attack. This means that you will have an easier time destroying a few houses than you will beating your opponent's War Elephants. If you thought that the Boyars and Teutonic Knights were really tanky, guess what? They are completely dwarfed by the Persian War Elephant in terms of raw stats. However, as powerful as this unit is, it is not without its own weaknesses. Like Teutonic Knights, they are slow and can easily be converted by enemy monks. In addition, they count as cavalry units and are therefore susceptible to halberdiers. They are also completely dwarf the other units on this list in terms of costs, as just one War Elephant will eat up 200 food. No pun intended. That means that the cost of building just 5 War Elephants is enough for you to advance from Castle Age to Imperial Age. So these are my top 5 best unique units in the game. However, we must also remember that in Age of Empires 2, all units are good in their own way. Some may be better than others, but no unit is unbeatable.